It's just important to find balance, and I try and do things really that I really enjoy doing.
So many people claim that they don't have enough time to go for their goals, or they're too busy in life right now, or they have too much going on. Whatever the case may be, they are all just excuses. And those are going to be the people that don't truly love every bit of their life, because they're going to be stuck doing something they don't enjoy because they were too scared and they were too afraid to pursue their dreams, and they were just straight up too lazy to even try to get started with pursuing whatever they truly love. And that's 100% on them. They're missing out on such a great opportunity to try to make something incredible of their life. And that's what you need to do, is try to do everything that you can as soon as you can. You don't want to be the person that talks about going after their dreams.
The goal was to become a better actor, and so for me, in order for me to do that, I had to work in all different genres.
You want to be the person that does go after their dreams and makes everybody jealous and want to be just like you because you're doing what you love because it was your dream. And you decided point blank to pursue it with everything you got. You put everything into it. You focused. You took time and studied whatever it is that you love. And you put so much time and energy and effort into becoming successful that it made it all worth it in the end. It is by no means going to be an easy journey, and you're going to fight some serious uphill battles. But that's going to make it even sweeter once you taste victory, because you're going to look back and discover all the hard times you went through made that moment extremely worth it.
Get your ass kicked, get back up, and you put the gloves back on and you swing away.
We were 14 years old, we lived in Hawaii, and we lived in a small efficiency apartment. My mom and I came home, and I'll never forget, the rent was $180 a week, and there was an eviction notice on the door. This was the one, it was the final eviction notice, like that's the one. My mom started crying, and I never forgot in that moment. It was a seminal moment for me because I felt like I never want to be in this position again. What can I do? So at 14 years old, I thought, well, the heroes in my life, Muhammad Ali, for example, professional wrestlers, they're all men who have worked hard with their hands and they built their body. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what my dad taught me and these other heroes. I'm gonna go build my body so we're never evicted again. That's why the most this and the most that, again, it's wonderful, but the alternative is what I once was. It was really important that we share those stories, share the stories about being evicted. Her mom's parents were immigrants who came over from Cuba. We try and keep it as simple as we possibly can. We have a farm in Virginia. Happily to say that I've moved my family here to Atlanta, just making sure that we continue to instill in the babies and the kids the value of a dollar and what it means and the value of food, and always saying how grateful we are and the things that we're grateful for, especially at that young age. I never thought in my mind it was this level of success or fame even. It was, I don't know how, but the world is going to hear from me.
For me, failing has become critical in my growth. I graduated from the University of Miami. I had a terrible senior year. I had a bad injury. Then I had a really terrible year that year. Graduated, didn't get invited to the combine, the NFL combine. I didn't get drafted in the NFL. And I had one option, and that option was the CFL. All my other teammates who were NFL worthy were gone. They're in the NFL signing their big contracts. And I signed a contract in the CFL to make $350 a week Canadian. And I got sent back home, and I had to move back in with my parents at 24 years old after I left at 18, ready to tackle the world, and in my way I did, but I had fallen so flat on my face for the first time in my life. I was depressed, asking myself why me? How can this happen? I worked so hard. Hard work pays. I always thought it's not paying for me. I got nothing. I literally had $7 in my pocket, so my $7 story. That failure, rising from that to say it's not over for me, and I'm not falling on my face after 10 years of football. Failed football player who wound up moving back in with his parents at 24.
We were bad. We intimidated, we dominated, but we took a lot of pride in that. We took a lot of pride in trailblazing and how the game was played back at that time through. We would intimidate teams and we would want to dominate teams, but also too, we also had the thought process that a team was never going to outwork us. We were going to be the hardest working team in the country. We had a big game against Florida State, so we would go into their Doak Campbell Stadium, and instead of going through your general practice, what we would do is we would do things a little bit different just to intimidate them. So as a team, team, we would kind of all line up. We're in their stadium. You got their staff, you got some players watching us. Instead of going through our plays, we would just start to give cadence calls.
Yes, I get up at crazy hours, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way, when we were talking in London. So whatever time my call time is, and I tell this to studios and directors and our producers, whatever time my call time. So my call time is at 7, then you back your clock up 4 hours, and then that's when I get up. And I'll train twice. I'll get my cardio in and breakfast, and then I'll go hit the weights. Clanging and banging, we call it.
Never played a character that is so close to my heart. I live that life, I know what it's like, and I also know what it's like to transition out of football at a time, much like my character in Ballers, where I wasn't ready to give up football. The idea of me being president one day has become a legit thing to some people. And if it is a overwhelming, positive, strong, we want you to run for president, and if I felt that I can step up to the plate and become a tremendous leader and make a real difference and make change, I would do it. I had Simone, who's my beautiful 14-year-old daughter, who continues to be, a balancing anchor in my life, just an amazing young girl. The relationship I have had with Simone over the past 14 years has led me to become the father I am today for Jasmine, who's our little 7-month-old baby who just rocks my world. I think the number one thing that a lot of people, for whatever reason, become adverse to, carbs are your friend.